Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And welcome to our Star Trek commentaries. Oh man, I have to come up with a new intro now. We're rewatching Star Trek for the first time, I suppose.
That
could be it. That could be one. That could be something. Welcome to... We're doing Star Trek commentaries, friends. If you're watching this, you either have paid for it, or you're watching this first episode that we're putting up for free on our YouTube channel on Blood Donut Studios. If you want to... If you like what you're about to listen to and you want to hear more, you can go to the Blood Donut Studios Patreon. For $5 a month, you get all kinds of fun things like Star Trek commentaries, which we're doing every other week. Also, we're doing little extra behind the scenes stuff for Fresh Face Comics, me and Jacob Licklider's podcast, and also all our regular Star Trek videos a week early. So check all that out. That's all there in the description below. But I don't want to waste too much time. We're rewatching The Man Trap today.
Yes,
which is very cool. If you go to our Patreon, obviously you can watch the video version of this as well, but if you go to our Patreon, it'll just be the audio track on there. Essentially what you need to do is sync up whatever your copy of The Man Trap is, and press play when I tell you to press play. It'll be a little 3, 2, 1, go, and when I say go, we all hit play, we watch the episode together, we have our little commentary on it, and hopefully all goes well. Obviously I'm not going to be able to upload the episodes just straight as they are to either YouTube or Patreon, so don't want to run into any legal trouble there, especially because I know Paramount's lawyers are assholes, especially when it comes to Star Trek reactions to things.
Sure.
So, we're gonna steer clear of that. So, I guess without further ado, queuing up the episode now, everyone have your man trap ready. Oh god. Have your man trap ready. Be at the 0 second mark. We're gonna all hit play in 3, 2, 1, go. And here we are, rewatching Star Trek The Man Trap. This is our first ever Star Trek ever.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people's first.
Yeah,
Star
a lot
Trek.
of first.
Yeah, a lot of people's first Star Trek ever. But it was ours, and that was unique to us, which I think is pretty cool.
It was definitely an interesting way to begin the show, because we had virtually no expectations when we first watched it.
Mm-hmm. I knew a few characters. I knew Kirk, I knew Spock, I knew McCoy. I knew of, like, Sulu and Uhura, and I knew these characters existed. I just didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
For the first episode ever, to be a character piece on Dr. McCoy, mostly, I think is fascinating.
I remember this experience. We paid really close attention, and we remember a lot from this episode in reality.
It's true, yeah. Well, yeah, especially like when you're starting a new franchise, like this, like especially one with such a long and storied history like Star Trek. It's it feels weird. Or not feels weird, but like you tend to pay like extra close attention because everything is totally new to you.
Mm-hmm.
So like nowadays we watch Star Trek and we're like, okay, I've seen this Trek a million times. I know what this is like. So we kind of take the vibe for granted, but the vibe is still so much of the vibe of Star Trek to me is set by these early episodes of the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I
love this set.
This is so good. We did nothing. When we first watched it, we did nothing but comment on the set.
Yeah. I think one of the things I said to you as we were watching it for the first time was that I always felt like this is what sort of like how a 60s Doctor Who would be lit, word and color. I kind of just get the vibe of like the Aztecs here when I look at this weird sort of alien temple. Not that the Aztecs has an alien temple, but it has a temple.
I definitely also remember commenting on the way the lighting was hit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. There's something else that I think to be said for the fact that Star Trek never being an episodic show and all the episodes releasing out of order, essentially, that there's a set way that everything should have been written at the time. But there are no character introductions, really. It's just like, here's Kirk, here's Spock, here's McCoy. You will learn about these characters as we go along, and we know who they are on a base level, but every episode should be accessible to a new viewer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, TOS never really did sequels.
No.
There would be, like, returning enemies sometimes, like, with, like, Klingons or whatever, but, like, never, like, specific characters. Like, Khan didn't come back till the movies. Tribbles had a sequel back in the animated series, but, like, an episode was just an episode, It was just, I think there's something to really be said for. I think there's really something. I do kind of miss episodic storytelling in this way because we don't really do it much anymore.
No.
Like you have like current Doctor Who, which does like different stories week in, week out, but you still do need to follow it in order to keep up with things because they do like story arcs.
Yeah. Even TNG has done not overarching story arcs like across a season, but they do follow-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, broadly, in our experience so far anyway, it's mostly sequel episodes to TOS.
Yeah, true. Well, at least early on. Love some 60s Star Trek to sexy music. This is how you know a man is about to fuck. Look at him go. He's so excited. He's about to die.
This is, also, if memory serves correctly, the only time this alien's power works this way?
Yeah, the different people see her in however they want. In like specific ways, yeah. We had the first intro here, though, which was cool. I knew the monologue, obviously.
Yes.
I never knew the theme music of Star Trek before watching it. I feel like because Star Trek is a lot more malleable in its... in music, at least. Like, in what it's... there's no, like, generally agreed upon Star Trek theme music, you know? Typically, nowadays, I think more of the TNG theme / movie theme.
Yeah.
When I think of Star Trek themes. But I still love this original theme.
This is, of course, the one we thought of for a long period of time, because...
Yeah. Well, because, we'd only seen TOS. And, it's for 80 episodes straight, plus the, occasional homage in the movies.
Indeed.
But even the one of the animated series was different. Slightly different. I never liked in season 1 how they never credited the writers.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's a problem.
Yeah. They do it, I think, in season 2, right?
I think they do.
If not, definitely by season 3.
God, these sets are just nice.
So good. It just takes me back. I don't know. I just remember that first day we started watching Trek really vividly.
I know. It really sticks out to me.
Some great memories, yeah. Because that first day we watched, God,
3 of them?
3 straight in a row. We did this, Charlie X, and We're No Man, all straight in a row. And, it's just... It was quite the range of quality when it came to Star Trek. It was just a solid, good episode. Charlie X I still think is bad, and We're No Man is just fucking phenomenal. So
I love the way this guy comes into the story.
Oh yeah,
so good. I wonder how often that actually happens. The 1-year intervals.
Right? Yeah. Because he's like, I guess, he's definitely heard of McCoy.
He's heard of McCoy, yeah.
From his wife.
Nancy.
Again, because so much of these early episodes stick in our mind. There are so many jokes from the early episodes that we had that we just kept joking about. Obviously, the big one coming up at the end of this episode is the Spock punching out Nancy.
We
joke about that all the damn time. Yeah. Woman.
I haven't rewatched this episode a lot.
So it's worth noting for those. That the joke intro I said was not technically true. We rewatched a fair bit of Star Trek actually, since doing the additional videos on them. But usually it's because there are like free like live channels on things on like streaming services.
Yeah.
So we'll just catch the occasional Trek that we've seen before. This is one that I don't think I've rewatched it in full once. This is my 3rd time watching this. Actually.
I've caught some of the episode, mostly the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be my first full rewatch.
Yeah. It's a great episode. It really is. I think I appreciate it a lot more now, actually, having seen a lot more Trek after this.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I've been excited about this, because we're properly rewatching Trek.
Oh, yeah. Like, oh man, there's that TNG episode where, oh god, they're talking to Pulaski, and it's the thing with the arm, the splint for the arm.
The splint, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's barbaric, and Pulaski's like, she's like, no, it's fucking medicine, and here's Dr. McCoy using a popsicle stick.
God, this poor guy.
Oh yeah, it's also worth noting. So this is gonna be weird because these commentaries are gonna come out a lot more contemporary to when we record them.
Oh,
compared to our
yeah.
Star Trek videos. That video when we talk about that Pulaski episode probably isn't out yet. Actually,
Oh, you're right.
that's really weird. He didn't eat a fucking plant.
No way.
This is a Starfleet officer, my guy. He didn't just... He's like, oh, he must have just gone outside and eaten a random plant. You know how people in the military do that?
People in the military, oh, what's that, a berry?
Pretty crazy, like, early on. Because we're still figuring out things about Star Trek. Both as fans and as from a production standpoint,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Starfleet wasn't, like, officially established as, like, the military yet. But that's what it is. You know?
That is its actual practical application, yeah.
Is it even called Starfleet yet? It might not be.
Oh, it might not be.
If not, the Federation definitely doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. They look warm.
Oh, so warm. They're so sweaty.
I feel like
She's doing fine. She's doing fine. She's not super sweaty, but my God, look at DeForest Kelly there.
You look different now, suddenly. Almost like we settled on one actress.
Wait, what was Kirk holding
I
there?
have no idea. What did he just toss
A little
down?
green toy? What was that? Early Scotty. I remember never really noticing early Scotty in
Yeah.
TOS. Like, he becomes like a really prominent character in season 2, I think.
Early on, at least in this,
yeah, no,
in this early batches, absolutely missable somehow.
Yeah, and I knew of Scotty as well, of course, because, you know, beam me up Scotty, despite being a line that is never said in the show or the movies, is just, you know, one of those things that permeates pop culture. I like this early character development between them. Because this is Spock's establishing scene, really. I mean, it wasn't intended that way.
Yeah.
But I like it as an establishing scene.
We haven't written that part yet.
Oh God, Nichelle Nichols crushed that first scene. She's so good right from the start. She's amazing. She wasn't given much throughout the entire show, but she always made the most of it. She's fucking wonderful. And yeah, I think early on, like, there was still, like, no establishment early on that, like, Spock was, like, definitively, like, half human. I think you start getting that, like, the Naked Time. But there was, like, a portion of the early writing I remember hearing that, like, there was just a time when he was just a Vulcan, you know, because nobody was really clear on that yet.
We go pretty hard. Early on, too, we go pretty hard at Spock being emotionless or not really feeling them.
Yeah. Then, of course, you get Amok Time, which blows open the gates on that. I mean, Naked Time, too. But Amok Time, I think I remember being the first time that we really, really delved into Vulcans as a species.
Absolutely.
I really like the ear microphones. Kirk's such a fucking idiot here. Okay, because I remember the twist, though. Shouldn't they notice the lack of moisture in his body?
I was gonna say, he should be, like,
that should,
dry
that,
as
that,
shit,
that,
yeah.
that should be part of their scans, like... Huh. Lost Man. Oh god, early Shatner's wild too. I love this guy.
He is. His characterization is not like here specifically, but across the next couple episodes.
Oh, I was just more referring to Shatner as an actor.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I was more commenting on, like, because there's a couple of different potential pilots, his writing's a bit all over the place occasionally.
Oh yeah. Because you got the Cage, no Kirk. You've got Where No Man Has Gone Before, which was the actual pilot for this version of the show. You got the Corbomite Maneuver, which was proposed as a pilot for the show, and you got this, which actually ends up being the first
pilot,
episode of the show. There's actually another proposed pilot of the show that ended up getting made at the end of season 2. You ready for what it was?
Go ahead.
Oh God, not the it is that one, right? Yeah, the Omega Glory, where Kirk reads out the Constitution at the end. You could see why Gene Roddenberry specifically wanted that to be one of the mission statements of the show. He wants the great American hero, Captain Kirk, to read out the Constitution.
It's a funny concept.
As
a pilot.
The great American hero, Captain Kirk, played by William Shatner, the Jewish Canadian.
Notice they're calling it the dispensary. It's not sick bay.
It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of just small differences in like early Trek that you really notice like once you're a lot more familiar with the franchise.
No one has command. They just both leave it. No one has command.
Where's Scotty when you need him? Does Scotty just get that line there when they're down on the planet, and does he not appear again?
I can't picture him in this episode.
Because that was definitely James Doohan talking there. That was... I think the Corbomite Maneuver, as much as I like the Corbomite Maneuver, also has some weird Kirk moments as far as early characterization goes.
It does.
That's the one, that's the weird one where he's like, why would they stick me with a female yeoman? It's a weird moment.
It is. Salt tablets.
You said it at the exact same time.
I did, yes.
If anyone needed to be sure of where you're at time-wise, syncing up with our audio and video, just go back to Jacob saying salt tablets exactly at the same time as Dr. McCoy. I find so many times... So I've been doing these commentaries for a long time.
Yeah.
Back in the Security Kitchen days, we did all the Doctor Who commentaries. We do the comic book movie commentaries with me, Jacob Licklider, and Mason. Mm-hmm. I find that so many times people just talk about when people watch them, because they always enjoy the content, which is great, and I love that. Other people love these. But they often say that they don't even watch the episode or movie along with us. They just like listening to people talk, which I find just really cool. I think that's really fun.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember you telling me this a little bit ago now, but I remember you telling me this.
Yeah. It's interesting, because I know any time that I've tried to do like a fan-made like YouTube commentary, I usually try to watch whatever they're watching along with them. But maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. Is that like a common thing?
I could see someone doing like listening to a fan commentary over doing something like laundry, dishes.
Yeah. I suppose it also helps if you're really familiar with the thing that you're listening to a commentary of, Yeah. Because at that point it just kind of becomes a podcast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, sure, the episode's happening, but I know where they're at in the episode, and I know that this is where this happens, etc. That's fun.
So Captain Kirk doesn't like mysteries. How many episodes does he have left to go with mysteries? God, I still can't figure out how this math actually works.
No, sorry, it's not the moisture. It's salt that they use. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would account for the water, though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. McCoy.
Did you not believe him? Did you? That's just what? That's one of the missions of the Enterprise?
News to me.
All right. Well, you know what, actually? Again, totally unrelated, but we recently recorded a video on a TNG episode called What Ensigns of Command. And that's kind of got, like, protecting human life in places like this. Like,
that's true, yeah.
Huh. I've just never noted it as, like, a mission statement of Starfleet.
Yeah, Starfleet and individual ships having that protective mission.
Yeah. Weird.
It's like, God damn, another one.
She's like, what? Stuffing plant into his mouth? Like, another poor man ate another plant. Why do we live on a planet with such poisonous plants, dear?
You know, looking at the set too, like, what do you think this architecture is even supposed to look like if it were, like, erected correctly?
I don't know.
Because it looks pseudo Stonehenge-y, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder, what is the mystery here, though? Because everyone can easily figure out that Nancy's evil.
I think the mystery is waiting for them to figure it out.
Yeah, but I feel like there should be a mystery for the audience to engage in, too. And perhaps, I guess that's more how... But there's no indication that she is an alien yet. Just that something strange is...
Well, I mean, that should be the giveaway right there.
It doesn't say alien. That just says, like, shapeshifter or something. Like, it doesn't outright say, like, oh, yeah, it's, looking for a way to survive, does it?
I don't know.
So, because I could see if the mystery was, why is this alien trying to survive? How does this alien survive, etc. But no, you're not even told that it's an alien trying to survive yet.
No. He ate a plant.
Poor guy. Look at all these plants on this desert. Because all we see are just those little, like things of, like, grass tufts.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, is the mental image that we're supposed to believe from Nancy's story that these are just guys are just plucking those, like, almost tumbleweed-looking things out of the ground and going, tasty. Like, fucking what? Scotty?
Maybe.
We're actually going to see him?
This would be his appearance.
Would be it. First ever beam up, actually. First into the Enterprise that we see.
The visual one, anyway, yeah.
Nope, that's not him.
Nope.
It's crazy. Spock doesn't do much in the first episode.
Yeah, he's pretty...
All he does is play some guitar and hit a woman. Trying to think of a rock star that I could relate that to, but I think there's a lot of options.
I think the options are a little too varied to really narrow that one down. I like, in terms of, like, ship design, that as far as, like, we've seen up to TNG.
Go on. I don't even want to participate in this conversation. Go on.
That the only way to the bridge is by elevator.
Yeah.
At least in TNG, there's 2 elevators.
It's a lot of salt, Janice. Are you okay? Maybe I shouldn't be judging Janice. Wait. Okay, I didn't know what that food is, though, that she's putting salt on it. It looks like just like celery, but it's got little red things on the end.
I was going to say, that looked a bit... Not something you can put salt on, usually.
You shouldn't put salt on celery, Janice. Poor Janice, though. Oh,
Poor Janice.
Poor Janice.
I like how no one is alarmed at the way he entered the elevator.
Right? I fucking hate these men.
Good lord.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck these guys.
Seriously.
It's good to know in Gene Roddenberry's utopian future that sexism is alive and well. That's the thing, though. Like, one of the only things that Roddenberry had, like, concrete and nailed down about early Star Trek was that it was this utopian future where humanity made it and we figured it out.
Yeah.
It's curious to see what things are actually part of that. Hi, George Takei. Hello, George Takei, your very first appearance. I love this little plant that's clearly just a hand. There's a lot to love about this particular set. I really love this one.
We'll never see it again.
I like when they would just eat little bits of Starburst. But yeah, no, it's just what was Roddenberry's like early idea of a utopian future. I know one of the core things that he had nailed down that didn't really make it much into the show was that we had eliminated religion essentially, which I find really fascinating.
It is really interesting.
Yeah,
that would be sort of...
I shouldn't say eliminated religion, but we didn't have a need for it. Really.
A need for it, yeah. I think a need is a better way to describe that.
We didn't believe in it as heavily. Or obviously that's not entirely true in going to other planets, but as far as like humanity and the Federation of Planets was concerned, we didn't really need it. It's a cool idea.
I think it's an interesting one to land on early on as well.
Yeah. What are those?
What is this?
I know we shouldn't be questioning fictional future food, but
this is a fictional future where their playing cards are circles.
Yeah. Like, I'll say, like Star Trek turns 60 next year at the time of recording. Like, we're well over half a century into Star Trek's creation. And, like, I don't know, we're not eating that many different foods than we were back when Star Trek was created.
Right?
This is just a couple hundred years in our own future, apparently. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine eating habits will change that much.
I mean, we are behind a World War III.
Yeah.
You think you would find salt some other way and faster.
Seriously.
I don't know if I would ever want to be alone in a corridor in this place.
As a woman? Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely.
This seems like a bad idea, being alone in any corridor as a woman here.
Big time. Fucking get him, Nichols. Like, come on. I was gonna say, yeah, it's her first time speaking Swahili. Well, I guess no, her never really doesn't really speak Swahili much after this, but it's canon that she does.
It's canon that she can do it, yeah.
I remember hearing a behind-the-scenes story in The Changeling, whichever one reduces Ahura to like a big Dumbo.
I think it's Changeling.
Where it's like one of the things that Roddenberry wanted was to make her speak Swahili the entire time because she would be reduced to her primal instincts, whatever the fuck that means.
I know, right?
And Nichelle Nichols had to step in and be like, I don't actually speak Swahili, fuck nuts. Like,
she got out of that hallway fast when she saw there was other people to go with.
Yes,
I don't blame her.
Another woman, no less, to help her. Like, this is such an underrated part of this episode. I like that we see people without their official uniforms on. Because we don't, I don't know, just McCoy in all black makes sense. And also, DeForest Kelly pulls it off. My guy, like, dude belongs in an action movie right now. Look at that guy. He's great. Oh.
He would pull it off easy, I think.
Kirk is a bit more assholey than usual in this first episode.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to when I said about the differences in the way he's written.
Yeah.
His he'll fit into a final characterization, broadly speaking.
Yeah.
Just it takes time. And it's also obvious too when you're familiar with the TOS as a whole.
Yeah. what they actually made these things out of. The little bits of food there.
I don't know. You can eat them, so must be something edible. Wafer, maybe?
Sounded a little crunchy there. But I always assume they're chewy because they just look like Starburst. What was that on the wall?
I don't know.
I assume they're important somehow. Some of these transitions are rough.
A little bit.
Sometimes they just change entire backgrounds, like when they switch character.
Dodging that question big time. Those are odd questions to ask when you have a husband.
Yeah.
No, it's more I have a daughter.
This is another one of those things where knowing a lot more about the behind the scenes of Star Trek now. Because usually when we watch for the first time, we like to go in pretty blind.
Pretty blind, yeah.
But I've learned a lot more since. And I just kind of like the slightly more... I don't want to say edgy, but the slightly more morally gray characterization of McCoy that was always implied throughout the show now that I'm noticing a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole original plot of The Way to Eden is something I'm fascinated by. I know I told you about this.
Yes, you did.
That was around like McCoy's like estranged daughter and like I don't know, I just find that really fascinating. We get the mention of his daughter in the animated series.
Yes, we do. What do you think that guy does? The guy who's just been killed?
I don't know. He had like a weird kind of spacesuit thing on, and I don't know what he was doing. They weren't like stopped anywhere. He wasn't going outside. Shows woman. Is it fucked up that the episode's called The Man Trap and it's definitely meant to be referring to a woman?
Properly?
A little strange. Still a great episode. Oh, I'm sure you will. Ew.
I was just thinking, are they really going to commit to action?
Right, because there's no cut there. Like she definitely just had to force Kelly's sweat on her hand.
And now I vanish like a ghost.
God, she's so. I would say she's so into him, but she's so into his sweat. Here we go. Oh yeah, good shit. That was a great transition. I like
That's
that a
good.
lot.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that a lot. Early TOS music was always so eerie. It didn't always stay like this, and I really appreciate this early music. Additional. I mean, aren't they all additional? Aren't all Captain's logs additional? Okay, so this is interesting. The first ever shot I ever knew of TOS, because I had made a thumbnail proof for our video.
Oh yes, that's right.
Was the one coming up here of Kirk and Spock hiding behind this rock here. Look at the dog statue there. I just noticed that. Anyway, but no, yeah, it was the first ever shot I knew of TOS. It was the first thing I ever knew of, like, the vibe of the show was just that one shot, how it looked, because I just found, like, the first image that I could for the Man Trap, and it's what ended up being the finished thumbnail for the Man Trap video. Our very first, or I guess our very second Star Trek video. It's interesting. He seemed really put out by his communicator going off.
Were their holster belts always yellow?
I don't think they always had holster belts. I think sometimes the Wait, where do they use... I'm just now noticing, where do they keep their phasers usually?
Is it a more discreet, like, pocket thing going forward?
It's got to become more discreet, because I don't always remember those big belts.
I feel like I remember those.
Yeah. I like Kirk's little flip for his little
Yeah.
He just puts a little extra flourish on it when he brings it out. They walk in pretty casually when they just heard there's an intruder here.
Right?
Oh, now they're running. Okay, good job, guys. Who is this guy? What does he do?
Seriously.
What is that job? What do you work on? I've seen Scotty literally within the inner workings of the ship with no protection on. Maybe that's just because of Scotty's incredible luck.
I was gonna say immortality, personally.
Scotty's immortality. Montgomery Scott is quite literally immortal. He has one line in this whole episode, and we keep talking about Scotty. I'm just reminded that Scotty exists, and I got happy. So here's the shot.
I'll kill to stay alone.
Wait, is this guy also an alien? I forget.
No, he's just
a weird guy.
Yeah, he's just weird.
Okay.
I mean, he knows that his wife is dead and that Alien is impersonating his wife, broadly speaking.
Why couldn't he just tell them that?
I don't know. I don't remember why, I should say.
I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there's actually a reason, and we just haven't paid attention enough.
They hasn't said yet, because the crew hasn't put together yet what's happened. They still think his wife is actually, Nancy.
Yeah. But right now, his wife is Dr. Leonard McCoy.
How can you? Did he have to stand so menacingly?
Did you see Kirk's little run there?
Yeah.
What was that? DeForest Kelly really is just on fire though in this episode. I fucking love his performance in this. It's another one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, big episode focusing on Dr. McCoy. I knew of Dr. McCoy, but God, the way Shatner does everything in this scene. No, I remember just thinking, what a fucking guy. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by William Shatner being unhinged. DeForest Kelly is great. I'm trying to compliment a guy that isn't in the scene. DeForest Kelly is great in this. I remember thinking it was weird that, I was like, I did not know that it was weird, but I was like, I knew of Dr. McCoy. And I was like, it's an episode dedicated to him. But looking back on it now, it's like, DeForest Kelly just really shines in this one. He's fascinating shot.
I think he explains here what's happening.
Dead.
She's dead, Jim.
Women.
Spock looks more confused than him for some reason.
It's true.
Does that mean both the passenger pigeon and the buffalo are extinct?
Probably.
Interesting.
So he wanted to protect her.
Yeah, he's
obviously.
protecting this last of their kind.
But was that really a reason to open fire on 2 Starfleet officers when she wasn't even there on the planet to be protected at that moment?
Right? I know.
Very strange.
I still don't know how a whole group of a group like this can survive on sodium and on a planet that seemingly seemed to run out.
Right? It's like, well, that makes sense.
I did land with a crew of 50, and now they're all dead minus me. Continuing.
Again, aren't they all continuing?
Next one will be Captain's Log, Addendum. Oh no. So many red shirts.
So many red shirts. Look at them go. Yeah, that was another thing. Like, we weren't really aware of the red shirt trope yet when we first watched this. Actually, yeah, no red shirts have died yet, but multiple crewmen have died. They've all been blue or yellow shirts.
Yeah.
Huh.
We could offer it the thing it wants. No situation required.
He's like, Dr. McCoy, I really want to listen to you right now, but are you just trying to fuck this alien? No judgment. Just let me know if you are.
I was gonna say, he talks like he knows a lot of shit about it, and
Yeah.
no one knows this. Yeah, of course I could.
Unless it is, of course, disguised as any of you. I don't know any of you.
I'll have you and your skin.
Kirk is really intense in this episode. Like, really intense. He's not like this in the next episode. I know that.
Don't ask me what I did with the alien.
Wait, doesn't need love?
It's funnier to imagine he's speaking more from experience and not a scientific fact.
Well, no, he is. He is speaking from experience. He's the implication is, yeah, he fell in love with that creature then. Like, possibly just because it took on the form of his wife. But, it is what it is.
I have no idea what it currently looks like.
It's true, like, I don't know. They know it's on the ship. You can go looking for it. Oh, is that Nancy there?
Yeah, that one's... Yeah, because...
Oh, McCoy's still knocked out?
Yeah,
that's
McCoy
right,
is still,
Duh.
like, drugged.
Duh. Yeah, I just don't remember those belts all the time.
They must not last past the first couple episodes.
Huh. Unless I'm just really misremembering 80 episodes of a TV show that I watched.
Right? I think I remember phaser belts. Man, these red shirts are just really trusting.
Yeah. And lucky.
Right?
Oh, first spot green blood, although there's still red in there, which is odd. That is a helicopter outside. Or no, plane? No, one of the two. Sorry if you can hear that on the commentary.
First interesting hint.
Yeah.
Back to Nancy.
Like, I thought the episode actually like froze for a second because they were clearly just using a still image of DeForest Kelly there for a moment.
Man, he awoke from that pretty quickly.
He did. I mean, he was out for a while. It's just, I mean, just the amount of time it took him to like regain his senses.
Yeah. Coming in with the hot option. This is essentially offering a sugar cube to a horse.
Bro. Ew. I don't like the way that's happening. I never noticed that before. Oh my god.
I remember when we watched it for the first time, we were at this point going, McCoy, shoot her!
And it makes sense. There's a great moral dilemma there. But God, I mean, what must you think of Spock? What must we think of Spock? Oh, no.
God,
Worst fake punches in the world, by the way. Oh my god.
Oh god, it's bad.
Really bad. Also, I think I confused this with Charlie X for a second. Spock plays guitar in the next one.
It must be, yeah.
Yeah, so Spock really doesn't do much until he hits a woman.
Yeah.
Crazy. Love that design.
That
Love
is
creature
phenomenal.
Design. So cool. Great Shatner scream. Fantastic Shatner scream.
And McCoy can only...
Oh, I like... There's actually... Oh. You know what? I kind of wish the alien had not changed back to Nancy. Because I felt enough from the alien...
just looking at it there. In this light and context.
Yeah, that could have been cool. I think the alien changing back to Nancy solidified the alien as like a bad thing, like a villain, an actual creature. Whereas like if it stayed in its alien form and still gave that hopeful look to McCoy,
it would almost be sympathetic.
Yeah, and you could really nail home what the episode is going for, which is that we should not kill this creature. That it is the last of its kind. Still a good ending.
Yeah, still good ending.
Yeah.
There are a lot more like crewmen who are just repairing things in the background.
Yeah,
That's something
yeah.
that I'm used
The
to
bridge is
noticing.
a lot more full. Yeah.
So I'm like, Coy, do you have anything you want to say?
Aye, sir. Oh man, good episode. Good
Alright,
episode.
Daniels. Alright.
George Clayton Johnson. Created and produced by Eugene Roddenberry. Oh, what a guy.
What an introduction.
What an introduction. And what an introduction to this fantastic new commentary series. That was our first commentary for Star Trek, the original series, going back to where it all began for us. If you did like what you heard from us, as the credits roll here, if you did like what you heard from us, be sure to hop over to our Patreon, the Blood Note Studios Patreon. We have all kinds of cool things over there. You can get this every other week, in addition to on the opposite weeks of those, you can get extra little like B-roll audio of me and Jacob Licklider before our Fresh Face Comics recordings, as well as all of our other regular Star Trek videos a week in advance. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye!